In speech translation, in general, our goal is to obtain an accurate translation given some speech input. And traditional models have done it through a cascaded approach where we go through a transcript, whereas more recently, researchers have investigated things like the direct model, which directly translates speech into foreign text, which has quite a few advantages, but there's also one big disadvantage, which is that we now no longer have a transcript available at inference time. And that's in contrast to the practical need in many user interfaces, which often display transcripts alongside the translations, for example, for verification purposes. And this practical need leads us to shift our perspective a little bit. And we say that we no longer optimize only for the best translation, but we now jointly optimize for the best transcript and the best translation. And we will be comparing a number of different models on this new task. And our observation is that it's not enough to look at only the transcription accuracy and translation accuracy when assessing those models, but that also consistency between transcript and translation becomes very important now. And models perform quite differently along the lines of consistency. So what is consistency? Mainly we mean semantic equivalency. For example, if we have acoustically ambiguous inputs, we may not know what the best or most accurate outputs would be, but at the very least, we would want transcripts and translations to resolve those ambiguities in the same way. And there is more to consistency, which I'll be happy to talk about in the Q&A. So in our model comparison, we, for example, include a direct model, which does also produce a transcript through a multitask approach. But we find that direct models in this way are by far outperformed in terms of consistency by things like the two-stage and triangle model, which seem very promising and even outperform also the cascaded model in terms of consistency. So that's quite nice. We also discuss how to automatically evaluate consistency in the paper so that we don't have to resort to human labelers for assessing consistency. We discuss how to directly or more explicitly optimize for consistency at training and inference time. And we also show some example outputs that show that these observed empirical differences are actually quite visible in the actual model outputs. So this consistency issue seems to be very relevant in practice. And yeah, I'll be happy to meet you in the Q&A.